Hey everybody, it's Suzanne. I promised to get a little video up on how I calculate a recipe, and so here's how I do it. Soap Calculator is the one I like the best. Other than it's free, I just love using this. There's others out there, but this is, and you can look at those too. But this is how I do it. So here's all the things if you need to help for beginners and all that stuff. But you go right here, Soap Calculator, Lie Calculator. And the website is www.soapcalc. It's SOAPCALC and .com and or .net. I'm sorry, soapcalc.net. So that's right up here. So anyway, you would go to this. I hope you can see the cursor. It's right there. So you click on that, and it brings you up to screen. And so number one, what type of lie? So this is, you put a click in there. Well, it'll come up like that. You don't even have to click. But if you want to change it, you would click on potassium hydroxide, or this sodium hydroxide. How do you want to weigh your oils? Okay, number two, how do you want to weigh your oils? And that's in ounces for me, but you can do grams if you want. Number three, the water. You never change this. You can if you want to, but I never do. Unless you really want to do calculate a percentage, but it'll always stay at 38, and you just can leave it there. That doesn't change. Okay, number four is your super fat. So if you want a super fat at 5%, fine. If not, put your cursor in there blinking and just backspace out of there, and we're not going to super fat today. Okay. Number five, you don't do anything with this over here, but here are your list of all your different oils and butters and everything. So when doing a recipe, keeping in mind like what kind of oils do you want to use, what do you have that you want to use. And so I'll just start with one of my favorites, and that would be coconut oil. And it's all alphabetical. So you can do sweet almond oil too. Let's do sweet almond oil. When you click on that, it'll move it over to this column over here. So everything I click on over here is going to get moved to over here. So we'll start with sweet almond oil. I think I want to use that today. And then you've got all your choices, whatever you want. Scroll down. Castor oil. I'm going to double click on that, and that will move it over there. And your 76 degree coconut oil, double click on there, and so now I have those three. And then I want to do, scrolling all the way down to some lard, and keep going. Okay, the battery went on me already, and I just put batteries in this thing. Alright, so so far I have chosen almond oil, castor oil, coconut oil, and lard. And so I will go over and to the column here, find the oil that I want. I want to do olive oil. So it's olive oil or olive pumice. Those are my choices. But I'll click on olive oil, and it will go over there. And then I want to do some palm oil. Not palm kernel, but just regular palm oil. Double click, and it will go over there. And then I want to do some sunflower oil and shea butter. Let's see. So sunflower oil is here, and shea butter is there. So I've got all my oils here that I want. And if you want to take them out, just hit the minus and it will take that out. But double click and it will add it too. So here's my choice of oils. Always start out thinking in your mind like coconut oil. That a good halfway medium for that, because it is a cleansing, it's bubbles, but it is a highly cleansing oil. And what do you want to do with your recipe? Do you want to make it a hand soap for gardeners or hand soap for men that work with grease and that? You would want to make a high cleansing soap. So it's always good to start like around 20%. And here's the percent column right here. Now I'm going to put it over here to ounces because I want it to show up in ounces. But you'll see, it'll calculate the percent and I'll show you. So sweet almond oil, let me just start with 3 ounces in my recipe. So on your keyboard, go and put 300. Alright, then next is the castor oil. So I'm thinking with the castor oil, I might like 4 ounces of that. So put 400. The coconut oil, I don't want this to be a high cleansing recipe, so I'm just going to start out with using 16 ounces of it, and I'll show you what comes next. The lard, I just want very little of lard, so 3 ounces of lard. The olive oil, I'd like about 10 ounces of olive oil. Now, your thing that you're keeping in mind is how many oils for your mold. And I would like it at 64. So 64 ounces. Or if you're making one of those 2-pound loaves, that would be like 32 ounces. So, but kind of thinking in mind what your mold is, how many oils, how much ounces in oils. So 64 ounces to me for the mold that I have would be good. So palm oil, I'm going to use 16 ounces of palm oil. Sunflower oil, that would probably be 10 ounces. And we can switch these at any time, and you'll see, we'll do that. And then a little bit of shea butter. So just a little bit, maybe 2 ounces or 3 ounces. I don't know. Let's see. 2 ounces maybe. We'll start with 2 ounces. We can always go up. Alright, so once you kind of get that figured out, and you can go by, some of your previous recipes that you have, and like the 16 ounces of coconut oil, that can be 12, or that can be 20 if you want a high cleansing, and I'll show you that in just a second. Okay, so once you get everything there and you get your ounces there, you go down here, and then number 7 is calculate recipe, and then underneath that is view or print. But you want to put a check mark in the multiple tabs, and this is going to allow you to go back and forth if you have to change stuff, and in bold print. Okay, so you have 2 check marks there, and then calculate recipe. Click on that. Alright, so this column here in the percent, it's always got to be 100%, so that you got 100% of your recipe is your oils. It's a little bit over, but that's alright. And 64, I kind of figured it was going to be that because I used 16 ounces, 10 ounces, 16. I used that a lot as a starting point. So now the sweet almond oil, I can change that, like say 2 ounces. So I'll go back up there, and that's right there. I can backspace the 3 out of there and put 2 in there. And hit calculate again. And that's going to give me 63 ounces. And then this column here is 99.99, 99.99. But I'd like it to be 100. So why don't I go down here and click on 3.50 of the lard. I'll change it from 300 to 3.50, 3.5 ounces. Go down here and hit calculate again. And let's see. I can do probably sweet almond oil. I can backspace to 200 out of there and put 2.50, so 2.5 ounces. Go down here, click calculate again, and so it's gonna, there's my 64 ounces, and I think, you know, I'd be happy with that just to see for now. So go down here and hit view or print, and remember these are checked. Hit view or print to take you to the next screen. Now here it tells you what your water's gonna be, like 24. You can drop the 32 and just make 00. So 24 ounces of water to start. And then your lye is going to be 9.51, which I will round it out and make it 9.50. So that will be my lye, and my fragrance is going to be 2 ounces. So here's the grams, here's the ounces. Alright, so here's, you know, all the things that we did on the previous screen. I'm going to have 64 ounces of oils and butters. And then down here it's going to tell me, here's the my recipe, the range, and here's the normal range. Hardness 29 to 54, and mine is 41, so it's in the middle. Cleansing. Now if you want a high cleansing soap, it's got to go over the 22, because a cleansing, the normal is 12 to 22. But if you want a high cleansing soap for hands or something like that that you're making, you'd want to go back, and what you do is go back up here, hit exit, go back and change this. It's 25%, and remember I had said 20% is something to keep in mind. So as long as we're here, why don't I change the 16 ounces to 12 ounces. Go down here and hit calculate. And there's my 20%. You see how it changed it? So now I'm at 20%. This is the percent column. And now I've lost a few for my mold. I said I wanted 63 or 64, and 64 is good, but I've lost that now by changing that, so I've got to add 4 more ounces somewhere. So why don't I add 2 more ounces to the olive oil? So backspace and put the 2 there, hit calculate. Alright, so now I'm at 62 ounces, and I would like to be at 64. So why don't I go down here and change the sunflower to 12 also, and hit calculate. So there I'm at 64. Alright, now view and print, but I'm just going to view for now. So your cleansing is 13, which is good. I don't want to make a high cleansing that's harsh on the skin. I don't want to make I want to make just a regular nice bath bar. So it'd be a luxury bath bar. And see how that brought that down. The cleansing, the range is 12 to 22, and I'm right a little bit over, so I'm not highly cleansing. Conditioning, I'd be highly conditioning. It's 44 to 69 would be the normal range, and my recipe here is 60. So I'm just at a nice conditioning soap. Bubbly, 14 to 46 is the normal, and I'm at 18 with this recipe. Creamy, same thing. And all my things here in this my recipe is within normal range. It's not over or under, and that's where I want. So keeping in mind, always with the coconut, I like to stay around 20%. So I can name this. So this would be a slow trace. Well, let's do capitals up there. When you're naming your recipe up there, we'll do caps. Slow trace bath. So that will be my slow trace bath. And down here in additives, I can add maybe clay. I can do 1 tablespoon clay. I can do maybe 1 tablespoon oatmeal. Well, I could do clay here at a capital C. That would be good. Alright, then you can do notes. Discount the water if I want to do that, which it shows me I need water at 24 ounces. 24 ounces of water at a discount. Okay, because to add milk. So I'm sitting kitty corner here. I can't see the screen that well. Alright, so like say 20 ounces milk. Or let's not do milk. Let's do 4 ounces milk. 4 ounces of milk, like goat's milk. And that makes that 20 ounces of water. So that would be what I would do if I would change the water around. Then if you want to add any botanicals for this bath recipe, or if you want to add anything like rose petals or whatever you're doing with this recipe, you can put it over here at additives. Or if you don't want to, you can just take all this out. You don't have to put anything in there if you don't want to. You know, you can just put, I did not like this recipe, you know, when you do make it. Or you can put, next time I should do this. Or you can make yourself little notes. And you don't have to, just whatever you want to say down here. And you can write it in with just pen too, if you don't want to type it in. So once you get your recipe, what you like, if you want to put sodium lactate in or whatever you want to do, you could write it down here if you want. And but once you're happy with it, you can print it. If you're not happy with it and you want to change it up, go back up here and exit out of there, and it will bring you to that first screen. Change it however you want. Maybe I would like 13 ounces of coconut oil. So that's 1 more ounce, but I want to stay at 64, so why don't I just go, I'll be over 1 ounce, so why don't I just put that 11. Okay, and then hit calculate down here. Alright, so I'm at 64, which is what I want. That's at 100%, and everything is fine. And then go and hit view again. And then the coconut oil is at 20%, what I want. So that's basically about it. You can go back and forth just by going up here and exiting out of this. It'll take you back to that other screen. Once you're happy with it, you go down here or up there, either one, and hit print recipe, and that will send it to your printer. And so when you're reading a book and you kind of getting an idea in your mind what you want to make for a soap recipe, just the different additives or the different oils or different butters. If you wanted to make it really, really luxury soap bar, of course you would add more butters. Mango butter, go up here and hit print. Mango butter, you know, cocoa butter, any of your butters that will make it a highly moisturizing bar. And then you would switch it up when you, in the screen before, of course. But because it's printing right now, this is the final recipe. But if I didn't like that, I would click on that, go back, add cocoa butter, kokum butter, mango butter. Add any of those things and just work with the recipe until you get it what you want. And then that sends it to your printer, and then this is what prints up. So it's the same as what you see there. Well, not the colors, but anyway, so that's it. So if you have any questions or anything, just write them in the comment, and I'll below, and I'll try to get back with you and help you out. But I hope this has helped you to understand. It's soapcalc.net, and it's really awesome. I think you'll like it. And then thanks for watching, and have a great day.